Commish coming at you live, heading into our week 9. Wow, week 9 update. Only 5 more weeks to go in the entire season before we get into the playoffs. So crazy. It is Wednesday, November 4th, and the world is in chaos. There were so many upsets last week that everything got flipped around. But let's start with the beatdown of the week.
Baby, are you down, 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 down?
Tara's drunk Wives Matter took no prisoners on her husband, beating Eric. That was a 45.90 point differential, largest margin of victory the league has ever seen last week. Congratulations, Tara, for being the victor of the beatdown of the week. It's Wednesday morning, November 4th, 2020. Some of us had a late night. World's been turned upside down. It's been chaos because of all of the upsets. We have a brand new leader atop the standings, and we caught up with Jen Carell, manager of JenNFL, to talk about her new view from the top. Actual Commish coming at you live with an interview with the new league leader of the Fall Creek and Other Exotic Locations Fantasy Football League, the manager of JenNFL, Jen Carell. Jen, welcome into the weekly video. How do you feel?
Thank you. Pretty good. I'm honored to be here. I'm, I think, one of 5 subscribers to your YouTube channel, so it's an honor. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for that. That's
Yes.
5 of you that watch this. So, Jen, I'm going to ask the question that's on everybody's mind. How did you come up with the name JenNFL?
Yeah, I mean, it was a stroke of brilliant thought. You know, my first name's Jen, NFL, kind of squished them together and JenNFL.
So you are 6-2. I think, the turning point for your season was actually in week 7 when you were the victor of the beatdown of the week over Justin. That was the largest margin of victory we had seen in the Fall Creek and Other Exotic Locations Fantasy Football League. How did that feel, beating down Justin?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. To be honest, I mean, it felt easy, It felt, he barely put up a fight, I think. I was very dominant. But yeah, no, I agree. I think that was a turning point. That was, I think, really the biggest move that got me to where I am today, which is, as you said, top of the league.
So 6-2, you've got just over 1,000 points for you. You have the lowest number of points against, and you're on a 2-game winning streak. You were up against a surging Drunk Wives Matter this week, Tara at 4-4. You're barely predicted to beat her by 1.2 points. I mean, what do you see going into this week?
I feel confident. You mentioned the stat that I've got, kind of the lowest points against in the league. And I think I predict that streak continues. So not so much that my team will be dominant, although as you mentioned, beat down of the week last week with Justin. But go forward, I think it's really just my game plan will be to have everyone else continue to just really not, try not to put up many points and then just kind of coast through the playoffs.
Do you have any words of advice for the other 11 managers in the league that are now staring up at you sitting in the top spot?
I think really what's treated me well this year, and a strategy I might try to employ in future years, is I really haven't given a shit this year. I haven't been watching football. I haven't, been watching the waiver wire. And I drafted Tom Brady and Gronkowski. So it's really just been a kind of hands-off approach that I find it's been working well for me. That again, and also the fact that the other teams just aren't really putting up points when we play.
Gotcha. Good.
Yep.
Wise words from the manager of JenNFL. Jen, thanks for joining us this week.
No problem. All right. Take care. Bye.
So let's take a look at the standings. The standings show JenNFL at 6-2 with 1,004 points. 4 Shenanigans and Sully's crew right behind her at 5-3. Then there are 6 teams at 4-4. 14 teams, hashtag never forget. Hanging Chads, Find the Hole, Wild Stallions, Kenny Ball, and Drunk Wives Matter, all sitting at 4-4. 2 more teams at 3-5, Trophy Wife and Eric's Baton Rouge bound. Of note, Trophy Wife, 1,037 points. That is the second highest total. So that brings us to matchups of the week, and we've got 2 of them this week. The first matchup of the week is Shoulder Bowl. Canada Steve versus Kenny Ball. As some of you may have known, Canada Steve loves bikes, and in a freak bike accident, Kenny Purdell sustained injuries to his shoulder that now, after many months and surgeries, have transformed Kenny into more machine than man. What's really interesting about this matchup is Kenny Ball at 4-4 can get himself right back into playoff contention, even though he's sitting at 8 with a win over Canada Steve. But Canada Steve and Kenny Ball right now are only separated by 0.10, by a tenth of a point in their projections. The second matchup of the week is the Ridge rivalry. It's going to be Hanging Chads versus Trophy Wife. Trophy Wife has the second highest point total, and Chad is sitting in 5th place, just comfortable under the playoff level. If Trophy Wife were to beat Chad this week, then she would be into a 4-5 position, and based upon all of the other results, might be able to vault herself into 4th because of her point total. So the lesson here is there is no comfortable position for the playoffs right now. JenNFL seems to be doing pretty well. She's pulled away by a couple of games, 6-2, but 2 through 11 is all up in the air. So that's 5-3, 5-3, and especially 4 through 11 are all one game apart. And in the end, it's probably going to come down to the points scored. So there are a lot of changes that can still happen depending upon results. Thursday night football, 7:20 is Green Bay and San Francisco. 2 huge injuries, as I think George Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo are both out for the season for San Francisco. So their playoff prospects have changed tremendously. Sunday, there's a bunch of games. New Orleans and Tampa Bay is Sunday night at 7:20, and the Monday game is New England at the New York Jets. No COVID delays this week thus far. As always, take a look at your app and make sure that you are keeping up to date. All right, Wednesday, November 4th. Obviously, the world is in chaos right now because we do not know who's going to be on top of the league after this weekend. So y'all, stay safe out there. Hopefully we make it to Sunday and we know who's going to be the leader of the Fall Creek and other exotic locations fantasy football league by Sunday night or Monday, by this time next week, let's say. Okay? All right, y'all take care. See ya.
Pump it up loud.